In the opening scene of the film, a king and his soldiers chase a dragon into its cave. As they enter the cave, the king is watching something closely. Suddenly, the dragon attacks them with fire, killing all the soldiers one by one. The king, left with no other option, begs the dragon for his life. The scene ends there. We are then taken to another kingdom, centuries later. This kingdom is very poor, and its people are starving. Elodie, the main character, is the princess of this kingdom. A prince from a wealthy kingdom proposes to her, making her father very happy. He believes that Elodie's marriage will improve their kingdom's situation. Though unwilling, Elodie agrees to the marriage to help her people. During the journey to the prince's kingdom, they encounter dragons in a sea storm. They finally reach the palace, which Elodie finds much grander than her own. A royal servant greets them and shows them to their rooms. That night, Elodie sees fire in the distant mountains from her balcony. The next morning, the queen tells Elodie's dad that she approves of the marriage and plans to hold the wedding the next day. Elodie and the prince talk, and she asks if he is being forced into the marriage. The prince assures her he is not and finds her beautiful. While talking, they reach a hill where Elodie mentions seeing fire in the mountains. The prince explains that the mountains are important and that they will go there for a ritual after their wedding. Meanwhile, Elodie's dad is very worried after meeting the queen. When Elodie's mom asks him about it, he refuses to share his concerns. Elodie's mom decides to talk to the queen herself, but the queen dismisses her, looking down on her for being from a small kingdom. Elodie's dad takes her mom away, clearly hiding something. The next scene shows Elodie's wedding to the prince. After the ceremony, they go to the mountains where Elodie had seen the fire. The prince had mentioned that a ritual would take place there. They reach a cave where the kingdom's people are waiting. The queen explains that a dragon lives in this cave and had caused much destruction 100 years ago. The kingdom's former king tried to kill the dragon but failed. To save his life, the king made a deal with the dragon to sacrifice 3 daughters each generation. This ritual has continued ever since. The queen cuts both Elodie's and the prince's hands and joins them, symbolizing their unity. The prince then carries Elodie and drops her into a pit, where she faints. When she wakes up, she finds herself alone and shouts for help. Her voice awakens the dragon. Elodie decides to climb out of the pit but keeps slipping. She sees many items belonging to other girls who have been sacrificed before her. Suddenly, she sees fire in the air, and the dragon appears. The dragon asks her name, and after Elodie tells her, the dragon explains that she is here under a deal and that the dragon will kill her because she smells royal blood. Elodie runs away before the dragon can hurt her. She finds a small cave to hide in, but her foot is badly burned. She tears off a piece of her dress to bandage her wound. Determined to escape, Elodie explores the cave and follows a blue light coming from a tree. She finds a big pit between her and the tree but decides to jump across. She barely makes it, saving herself with a knife. The blue light turns out to be glowing insects, which she gathers to use as a light source. Further on, Elodie finds a small waterfall and tries to drink, but the dragon attacks again. She hides in another cave and finds the names of many girls sacrificed there. Exhausted, she falls asleep. When she wakes up, the insects she collected are on her wound, healing it. Elodie follows a map she finds on a stone and climbs a difficult path to find a way out. However, she reaches a dangerous spot with no safe way down. She hears horses and hides as the dragon appears again. Hearing her dad's voice, Elodie sees the dragon go to confront him. She heads toward her dad, finding gold and broken dragon eggs along the way. Realizing the truth, she understands the story about the dragon's attack was only half true. Years ago, the king had killed the dragon's babies, prompting the dragon's revenge. The dragon had demanded 3 children each generation as revenge. Elodie's dad arrives, demanding his daughter back and willing to fight the dragon. He tells Elodie not to come, but the dragon kills him. Elodie, seeing her dad die, screams, distracting the dragon and allowing her to reach her dad. He tells her to stay alive and find her mother and sister on their ship. Elodie escapes the cave using a chain and avoids the dragon's fire attacks. She finds her dad's horse and flees. The dragon, unable to see her, burns the horse in frustration. At the palace, the queen, watching the events, decides to sacrifice Elodie's sister instead. She kidnaps Elodie's sister and wounds Elodie's mother, who tries to save her. Elodie reaches the ship, where her injured mother tells her to save her sister. Elodie goes to the cave and sees the queen about to sacrifice her sister. The queen mixes their blood and throws Elodie's sister into the pit, where the dragon catches her. Elodie prepares to fight the dragon, bringing glowing insects and her dad's sword. The dragon, still mourning her children, tells Elodie's sister she wants to kill Elodie. Elodie distracts the dragon and reaches her sister. She tells the dragon the truth about their lineage and that they were not part of the deal made by the king. The dragon, angry, attacks Elodie but ends up burning herself. Realizing the truth, the dragon feels remorse and asks Elodie to kill her. Instead, Elodie heals the dragon's wounds with the insects. Elodie returns to the palace with the dragon. She reveals the truth to the people and tells them to leave if they want to live. The queen scoffs, but the dragon attacks, destroying the palace and the royal family. In the final scene, Elodie, her sister, and their mother prepare to return to their kingdom. Elodie assures her mom they will take the treasure from the defeated kingdom and rebuild their own. The story ends with Elodie, her family, and the dragon heading back home.